And we are back.
We are back, bumble bitches.
So aggressive.
I am. I like it. It makes me feel sassy.
Yeah. Welcome back to the To Be Better podcast, guys. I am one of your hosts. My name is Chris.
And I am Peach.
Not Peaches. We're changing it up.
Yeah, I feel like a walking grammatical error.
I hate that you changed it back.
Yeah?
Yeah. Peaches sounds more natural to me.
Yeah?
Yep. But I'm working on it. I've been calling you Peach when I'm typing things out. I'll be like, Peaches, ... back.
I appreciate it.
So we're working on it. Trying to make that more normalized for you.
You can call me whatever you want, Daddy.
I do. We are not professionals. We are just two people with opinions that have a fan base that writes in and asks for said opinions.
And they sometimes appreciate it.
Yep.
Sometimes get upset about it.
None of this comes from any type of degree. It is solely based off of life experiences and a lot of failed everything.
And none of it comes from malice.
Sometimes I come from malice. Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Sometimes there's a whole lot of, I just want to grab people and shake them. I'm working on it though. I'm getting a lot better.
Yeah.
I am getting a lot better. I've toned it down quite a bit.
I have seen it. I see the change.
Yeah.
A lot more oogway of you.
It's funny. That's funny. I feel like that's now my spirit animal.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
We are going to not get into a whole lot of banter. We are going to just jump into some emails. I do want to real quick remind you guys that we have a trip to Thailand coming up that is a retreat. You can call it a couples retreat. You can call it a vacation with us, however you want to look at that.
I'm so excited.
And you just can't hide it.
Yeah, this is a whole body spirit finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested in that, or you're interested in any of the events that we have coming up, you can go to tobebetter.co/events. Every time that we've got a meet and greet or we're doing any type of travel, we will be putting it on there. There's a link in the bio of everything that takes you to travel with us, which will take you to the current trips that we have booked. There are still slots available for Thailand. And then by the time this comes out, if it's not available still, you can sign up to be notified of future trips. Excuse me. We will be doing Costa Rica. We'll be doing Yellowstone, Italy. We're going to be doing a whole lot of travel over the next 2 to 3 years. Thailand is going to be the first. So it'll be the most unique experience of all of them and how we are going to formulate things moving forward, finding out what does or doesn't work. But it's 7 days abroad. You guys will get to hang out with us for 7 days every day.
Yeah.
We'll be doing 2 seminars, an elephant sanctuary. We've talked about this a whole lot. Go check that out. And without further ado, we're just going to jump right into this. Maybe not. She looks like she's got some stuff.
I do.
To say.
I do have things that I want to say.
Too bad. You get to say nothing. Get into your email. Perform, monkey. Oh, wait, that's me. I'm the perform monkey.
Why are you the perform monkey?
Because that's how this podcast has made me feel since the beginning. Hence the whole...
I've also felt that way.
Yeah, well, I had something drawn up. It's about me because I'm a narcissist.
You're doing it very well.
I know. I'm working on it. It's because if I'm going to be accused of this shit, I might as well be it, right?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. All jokes. I could care less, but actually, that's a lie. I do care.
Care about what?
About the public perception. I'm working on that though. That book that I'm reading is really putting a whole lot of things into perspective for me. Yeah.
I'm gonna start it. I'm currently working on finishing Adult Children of Immature Parents, Emotionally Immature Parents.
I couldn't make it all the way through the book.
Really?
It's very dry. For me.
Really?
Yeah, but I also am audible. The narrator of books matters to me.
Oh, I'm doing it at like 1.5 times the speed.
Are you?
Yeah, so it doesn't matter how they're speaking. It's just going fast, and it forces me to pay attention. I feel like I have a superpower now. But I'm going to start that book next. All the things I've heard you say about it, I'm so intrigued.
I am on my second run through that book.
Yeah.
It's called The Courage to Be Disliked. And I'm not going to give you the author's name because it's Japanese. I'm going to fucking ruin it. So
I've noticed changes in you from that book.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that book has validated a lot of my belief system, but it's also given me new perspectives of that belief system and has allowed me to understand things that I already believed on a deeper level. So I think maybe that's probably not the right way to word it. It's given me a new perspective of the beliefs that I've already had. It's solidified those beliefs, but then it is compounded those beliefs with other things. And it's made, I don't know. I think if you couple that with choice theory and you understand both of those books, it can change your entire life.
Yeah.
So
That's dope. We should get back into doing book breakdowns.
I've been waiting on you to finish the 4 Agreements. They have been waiting on you to finish the 4 Agreements.
I have been doing so much shit with my life, and I'm trying to keep it all together at the same time.
Yeah, I get that.
I still have so much to do for the bath line.
That'll be completely done by the time this gets released.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it will be, but
Yep.
I have officially done the thing my husband warned me that would happen, and I have bitten off more than I can chew.
It's like I told you so.
Mini, mini, mini. What was I going to say? Oh, we're matching energy here.
No, it's fun.
It is fun. Thailand. Back to, I fucking remembered, guys. I started taking, it was too early on. I bloody remembered, guys. So I'm taking lion's mane and reishi in the my memory is coming back. I don't know if it's a placebo effect or I'm just
Probably.
giving credit too soon, but
You should add niacin to that.
niacin. Okay, I'm gonna have to get that.
Yep.
I'm assuming it's a mushroom.
No, it's a B vitamin.
A B vitamin.
Yeah. Niacin is a B vitamin. It helps stimulate blood flow.
Okay.
So if you're taking reishi and lion's mane for memory, taking niacin will increase the blood flow and actually help it circulate around your system.
Word. Just a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
Want to lick your brain.
Ugh. So for those of you who don't know, audio is the bane of my existence with this podcast.
Gosh, we've lost so many episodes to it.
It's always the fucking audio. Not always. We've had 3 instances where cameras have failed. And I think one of those was just me failing to hit the button. But we have had 3 camera issues.
Yep.
We just recorded for about 25, 30 minutes. And the mixer froze at 10 minutes and 47 seconds.
Yep.
So we have 20 minutes of unused footage that is not going to be able to be used because it's really shitty audio in the cameras. But it was good content, so I'm probably going to use it even with the shitty audio and just stick it on Patreon so people can see the blooper reel or whatever. But
Yeah.
I am super fucking concerned about this now. Like, this is becoming an issue.
Do you think we need to get a new one?
No, I would just swap it from one of the ones at the studio because the one on the desk that we game with doesn't ever hit the record button. But this is the original Rodecaster we bought. So
Oh gosh, yeah, that thing's. Oh, it's so special. No, don't be dying on me. Why am I getting emotional about this?
So I need to make it a point to look over more frequently, I think. I wonder if I got, I don't know, a way to set it here so I can just glance down and make it work. Anyways, we're going to just start at the beginning of the email because we already started having conversation, and as good as it was, I don't want to try to reenact. That's not what we do. You get
It's not
authentic
authentic,
us,
yeah.
right? So, sorry, I guess.
Duolingo's working
Why?
because you said sorry and my mind went désolé. Yes. Okay. So this email is titled Blended Family Issues. I am a 28-year-old female and my partner is a 38-year-old male, and he has issues with my communication with my son's father, who is a 28-year-old male. Good morning, guys. I want to start off by saying I'm so happy to have found your channel. Your relationship and values are traditional, yet so progressive, and I look up to you as an example of what I strive for in my life and in my family. Here's my dilemma. I'm in a beautiful relationship with such an amazing man. He came into mine and my son's life, and we now have a beautiful family and a happy home. My son has a father. We were together for 7 years and separated because I was not being fulfilled in the relationship. He never prioritized me. I was emotionally neglected, and from time to time, there were big blow-ups that became too much to me to work through anymore. My son's father is still in the picture. My partner and I have my son half the time, while his father has him the other half.
So they're co-parenting.
Yep.
God, I wish the audio wouldn't have cut out.
I still had fun with you, though.
I was having a blast.
Yeah.
That was really good content. Maybe I'll put it as like a standalone. Sorry for the audio, because these pick up audio. It just sounds like we're talking in a tin can.
Mm-hmm. We can still Keep up the vibes,
Yeah, for sure.
as the young ones say. Oh, gosh. So, of course, there is communication between my son's father and I. I do my best to keep communication strictly about parenting and about our son's best interest, but other things will come up, such as the dog we shared together or updates about our families.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not.
I really don't want to rehash the old conversations, but this is important.
Okay, let's do it.
I have to.
Okay.
So I asked her before this failed, what does she think healthy, normal communication between two people that had a relationship were? And just to recap real quick, was good morning text, good evening text, or good night text are too much.
Yes.
But having conversations about normal life shit, hey, I heard you got a promotion, congratulations. Like, there is nothing wrong with maintaining a civil relationship with your person, or with your ex, as long as it matches the relationships that you have with other people. As you put it, they get demoted. When you are no longer with that person, they get kicked down a peg and they're on the same operating field as everyone else, regardless of the time that you spent with them, if you can get along and be civil. Because you're stuffing your face, I'm just going to keep talking. This is one of those things where having a conversation about a promotion, about a dog, about family members, about their car, about their date life to an extent is acceptable. Hey, I went on a date last night. It went really well. Hey, that's fucking awesome. I'm proud of you. Like, I'm glad that it went well. How was she? You know, did she talk well? Was she articulate? Is she educated?
I want to chime in and say it's been absolutely beautiful to see the father of my children fall in love with somebody.
Yeah.
And be happy and feel fulfilled. I just wanted to add on to that. So my perspective.
Right. Well, and I was, because you did that, I started thinking about your ex and like, we talk on a regular basis. So he and I talk on a regular basis. We have developed a bond because there's kids involved. And like, it's at the beginning, I didn't think that was going to be a thing, but it very much has become a thing. And to see him contemplating his own business now and like growing into the man that he can be,
right,
is exciting for me. And it has nothing to do with me. But if I was to get mad at you because you were talking to him about his employment or about his mom or his cousin or a potential vacation, that's childish to me. Like, I don't know. What is that?
It is edible sugar cookie dough. And it's keto.
Wait, like infused edible or like
No.
You're just not going to get salmonella?
You're not going to get salmonella.
I'm not going to eat that.
Why?
Because I'm dieting. I'm trying
It's
really
keto,
hard.
babe.
No, I'm still not going to eat it because it's not going to taste good. It's going to taste like chemicals.
No, it tastes like, okay.
I don't like keto snacks. I really don't. Those fiber bars that we get that are chocolate are fucking disgusting, but it curbs my need for brownies. So, I don't know where this is going with this email. And the original thought that I had was that her and the ex is bringing issues between her new man and her old man. And I was
Drama.
way wrong if that's the case. So we'll see where that goes too. But this sounds like an insecure man or an inferiority complex, which is a whole different conversation. But
yeah, it is. We are finally at a point where we're able to get along most of the time without being combative or being down each other's throats. I love that.
it's healthy.
That's where my kid's father and I are at now. My heart doesn't sink anymore when I see his name pop up on my phone.
Right.
Because I know that we are at a point where we can actually have conversation and I don't become defensive and he doesn't feel like I'm attacking him because we're communicating. Here's the issue. My current partner, although an incredible step-parent and spouse, has major issues when it comes to my communication with my son's father. During pickups and drop-offs, he gets upset if my ex is on the property for more than 2 minutes. He is repeatedly questioning me if my son's father and I are having a conversation through text. If we're having a conversation over the phone and I will have a friendly tone with my ex, he gets an attitude about it and will give me the silent treatment.
So this is not a communication issue. This is he's jealous and doesn't want you talking to your ex because he's insecure problem.
Yes.
This is childlike behavior. This sounds like he's 15 in high school.
Yep.
I am not vibing with this at all. Men, this is not the answer. If this is who you are as a person, you need to grow the fuck up. And if you're that insecure and you don't trust your people or your woman for that matter, you just don't need to be in a relationship. Why would you want to live in a situation where you are constantly worried about what your person's doing? If I had to think about who you're talking to and what you're doing and where you're going all the fucking time, that would consume my life. That's exhausting.
Right. And you're not doing anything besides obsessing.
Right. And then you're creating conflict where there shouldn't be any.
Right.
Ah, man, I don't like that.
As a woman, as a mom, I don't have time for that. Like, my life is already stressful. My man needs to be my safety. He needs to be my peace. He needs to be my protector. I'm so grateful for you.
How is it that we can have the relationship that we have and I am constantly called controlling, and then we read emails like this and that's never the case? That is controlling behavior.
Yes, that is.
And it leads to manipulation. And it leads to trained behavior from the other person, because if this happens long enough, the person on the receiving end of the constant accusations and the aggression and the frustration is going to train them to behave the way that they want them to behave, because we want to be perceived in a positive light by those we care about.
Yes.
So knowing that she's being perceived in a negative manner eventually is going to make her change who she is and the way that she deals with things to placate another person's needs. She is basically unknowingly or unconsciously submitting to another person's will by this being a thing. This is a whole fucking like psychological mess for me. I don't fuck with that at all.
I'm going to be honest, insecure men are very scary to me.
They should be.
Yeah.
They should be, because that's how violence happens.
Right.
Men who are comfortable in their skin and are not trying to people please and are focused on their goals in life and trust their person and that bond is there. I'll even go as far as to say that they are okay with their self-worth, right? You're not going to allow things to disrupt that. And when it does, you're just going to remove that from your life and you're going to keep moving forward. You can look at this from any human being on the planet. If somebody is very goal focused, if something comes along that tries to distract from that goal, they are going to get that away from them because they're hyper fixated on what they're trying to do. If you look at that with your relationship, if you want your relationship to be super successful, the distractions that come from that, you're going to remove. This is somebody who is very insecure and is very hyper fixated on the possibility of something bad happening. Her cheating, having bad conversations with the ex or whatever the case may be. What happens when he no longer feels the answer of nothing's happening?
He believes the delusion.
And he believes what he believes. Then what happens? Because that is an interpersonal relationship issue between the two of them, but it's also a character flaw in him.
Yes.
This also comes down to understanding that you cannot control other people's intent. And hyperfixating on that is not going to do anything for you long term. It's going to ruin your life. It's going to ruin your mental health. It's going to make it so that you don't trust anyone. That's a very lonely place to be.
It is. I have done my best to give him all the reassurance in the world that there is nothing left between my ex and I. Under no circumstances would I go back to my ex or even consider it. There is zero flirting, no inappropriate conversation or anything of the sort.
Good.
Right, because you're an adult, and if you wanted to be with him, you would be.
And there's nothing he could do about it.
Right. I was going to say men, but this applies to both genders, everybody. This kind of thought process, living in this kind of reality where you are treating the person guilty of something that they haven't done, is going to push them away faster than anything else.
Yeah. This will also, there are a lot of people out there with that, if I'm going to constantly be accused of it mindset, I'm just going to do it. If I'm already paying the debt, why not at least get the benefit from it?
Right.
Right? Like if I have to pay $100,000 loan back that I didn't take the money from, and I can go ahead and just take the money and I still have to pay the same amount back, why the fuck wouldn't I take the money?
Right.
It's the same logic.
Pay the loan back and now I have all this neat new shit.
Yeah. I'm going to constantly be accused of it. Might as well just do it. That way I at least get the gratification of what I'm being accused of.
For the people in the back, that is not us condoning cheating. That is us trying to explain the mindset to help understand why someone might possibly cheat.
It's explaining the mindset of why you're pushing your people away.
Yeah.
And you are.
100%.
I have a thought, and I'm going to just word vomit.
Okay.
Do you think that anyone on the planet would voluntarily walk through broken glass, cut their feet up, and then voluntarily walk through broken glass again?
It depends on the circumstance.
Okay, so what would be a circumstance where that would be acceptable? That's not an extreme like saving your kid from a fire. Like,
okay. Because that's what my mind went to, was you or the children being in danger. I do have an instance where our son pulled a glass coffee pot off of something and it shattered around him and I had to pull him up. So I ran through glass, and I would do that again to prevent him from having to walk through that. He was a baby. He didn't know any better, right? So I would voluntarily do that again. I don't think that's an extreme situation.
no, it is, but that's keeping someone safe.
Okay.
That's super mom shit.
Okay.
So let's take it in normal everyday life. Do you like imagine waking up, seeing glass on the floor and going, I could step around this or clean this mess up, but I'm just going to walk through it. Cutting your feet up, spending hours cleaning all that up. Next morning, seeing it on the floor again and going, well, fuck it, walking through the glass again.
No.
Because you're putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation where there's going to be a whole lot of pain, and you're not going to ever recover from that if that's the decision that you're making every single day. If you are with somebody who is overly controlling, that is insecure, that is doing the things like that, or making your life miserable, and you are making the decision to be there every day, it's no different than walking through that broken glass. The only difference is that it's psychological instead of physical.
Correct.
I don't understand why you would put yourself in that position. I do understand that people who love people will do really fucking stupid shit. But I also think that at some point it's no longer about love, it's about comfort.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to stick with the devil I know than the one I don't. What happens if, right? Like, I could do this and then be alone for the rest of my life, or nobody's going to love me because that's what they've made you believe. I'm not good enough because that's what they've made you believe. If you're going to be unhappy, why not just be alone and be unhappy, where you get to live your life on your own fucking terms instead of allowing another person's will to be opposed on you? Because at that point you're a slave. There's no freedom in that.
Right. I'm going to say something, and this might be controversial. I think some people are more comfortable being controlled than they're not.
I would agree with that.
Especially people who live in the victim mindset.
Yeah. Because it's easier to be pushed around than it is to be free flowing.
It also perpetuates the mindset that they are the victim. It allows them to continue to live in that.
Yeah. Which in a way allows them to manipulate others.
Right.
Because it creates the pity me mindset where they're able, that's a whole other discussion. Yep.
Oh man, look at us, just two big brains sitting here talking. Do you feel like I'm on par with you in having conversations?
I think we have very good back and forth. I think that you provide a perspective that I don't have.
Okay.
And I think that that's necessary in order for us to have a dialogue that ends with a successful agreement.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of times that, I guess I can't say there's a lot of times. There have been times where we just don't
see eye to eye.
And we can't. And it's not a frustrating thing. It's that sometimes I think you're wrong. Sometimes that you think I'm wrong. Sometimes we are not speaking the same language, but there's always a different cognitive bias. And I think that cognitive bias from two people is what creates growth.
Right.
If you were, and we'll take it to an extreme. If you were far left and I was far right, and we were able to have a dialogue like we're having right now, we would be able to find common ground eventually. But people don't want to have the conversations. They want to argue and scream and yell and call names and get angry. And there's never any common ground, and it keeps us divided.
Because growth is too hard.
It is hard. It is fucking hard, because you have to realize that you have to concede at some point, whether it's with your own beliefs or your personality traits, or allowing yourself to assign new meaning to the things that you've gone through to get to where you're going, which I think is a good way to explain getting out of the victim mindset. It's a whole different thing. I think that we balance each other very, very well.
Okay.
To answer your question.
Sometimes I feel stupid talking to you. So.
No way.
I do, yeah. Sometimes I do.
That's wild. I don't think I'm very smart.
You
I really don't.
Is it because you didn't go to school? Is that your big hang up?
Well, no. I've also been hit in the head a lot.
Right.
Like I know that I'm to a level brain damaged. I know that. I also have a lot of mental issues.
Right.
So, but there's a lot, and you grow up your entire life being told you're never going to be anything and you're fucking stupid. You tend to allow people's external view become your internal reality.
Right.
And that's been a thing for me. It's why my body dysmorphia is so bad.
I get that.
But
Well, different perspective. You wouldn't take away like a severely autistic child's super mathematic abilities away because they have some type of brain deficit going on.
no, but them being good at math doesn't mean that they're good at other things.
Right. But
I want to be a well-rounded person.
right.
I would love to be a savant.
Yeah.
Real shit.
So
I take that back. If
Oh my gosh,
if I was
babe.
only really good at math, that would be how I created my value to the world.
and the podcast isn't
Well, I mean, what does that got to do with math? What does that got to do with anything?
value to the world. This is your value to the world. Your understanding of how humans work and being able to follow thought patterns and give new perspectives and life experience.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time with all of this on that. I love the recognition. I love the emails that we're helping people. I love that we're saving lives and people aren't getting divorced and all of that. I think that I struggle with my worth in all of it. That's why for the last year I'm your sidekick.
Yeah.
But I've also watched metrics and understand that like there are more people watching the podcast for you than for me. And it bothered me for a long time. I'm at peace with it now. I don't care because it's helping people regardless of why they're watching. But because of that and because I see the data, I have a hard time. I just have a hard time. That's all. There's no point in hashing that again. We've had this discussion a lot. What?
I wish you could see you the way I do.
I know you do.
How do I go about maintaining a healthy co-parenting relationship with my son's father while still providing my spouse with security? I'm especially curious as to what Chris thinks, as he has a similar role to Peach's children. Thank you.
So then I'm going to answer first because she said she's curious as what I think. I created a relationship with him. I went out of my way to create a relationship with her ex. And it's worked. We've had drinks together. He plays chess with me. We do holidays together. We've done Christmas, 4th of July. We do shit together. We've talked about taking vacations together as a family because it's not about me. It's not about her or him or his woman. It's about the fucking children. It's about showing kids that it is healthy to work through your problems and then coexist together. This is an emotional maturity.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and I've said this 1,000 times, that there is nothing that I could do to keep you from doing foul shit if you wanted to do foul shit. I'm not going to obsess over the you could, or maybe she is. If you do, we'll cross that bridge. I can worry about my actions and what I can do to make sure that you don't need to do that or want to do that or start getting eyes for other people or whatever you want to call it. That's my focus. That is literally the only thing I have control over. This. I can't control you. I can't control other people. I can manipulate you. I could try. I could try to manipulate the kids and my boss and try to manipulate everyone around me to get them to submit to my will so that I can be the center of the universe. And it's fucking exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
The lies, the manipulation, the trying to control every facet of your life. I'm going to control what I have the capability to control. And I'm not fucking worried about anything else. I would sit down with him and be like, look, he's my child's father. I'm with you because I want to be with you. And if I wanted to be with him, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And that would be the conversation. And if you can't get over that and accept that I'm going to co-parent and do what I believe is best for my child's well-being, we are not working together as a couple because this is supposed to be a team. Mm-hmm. And though I'm willing to put you first above my kids, just like you're willing to put me first above your kids, it's because you understand that I'm willing to make sure the kids are okay.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to put ourselves in uncomfortable situations. We are going to loan vehicles. We're going to help pay bills. We're going to pick up on things that they can't. They're going to do the same thing if we go out of town. This is about making sure that our two kids have the best fucking existence possible.
It's our son's school.
I don't remember what we were talking about before the phone rang.
Talking about helping out each other family-wise, like picking up slack where the others can't. He needs to buck up.
They need to have a conversation. Because this isn't about her communicating with him. This is about her having a relationship with her ex in any facet that is not okay with him. If this dude is in his 30s, almost 40s, and he still has this type of insecurity, that's a red flag for me.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It would put up a whole lot of alerts.
Yeah.
This is why during the courting phase, you should be asking people, how are your relationships with your exes?
Yeah.
Because if you're a super insecure, jealous person and somebody's got kids, they're going to have a relationship with their ex, whether you want it to be a thing or not. Even if it's a bad relationship, it's still a relationship. And if you are the type of person that can't deal with that, you don't just need to be single. I don't understand why people get involved with people that have baggage that they're not willing to deal with.
It's too hard. That is what people will say. It is too hard. It hurts too much. I can't think about it. It makes me depressed. I become suicidal. That's what I hear from people.
If people are courting people and actually getting to know them first, these situations would be avoided.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for this because there's nothing that she can do other than explain to him the situation. He's the father of my child. We co-parent very well. And if I still wanted to be with him, I would have stayed. I'm with you now, and you can trust that I'm with you, or I can just continue to do me because I've dedicated my life to you. We are together. We're doing the thing. You need to relax a little bit. This is not all he is doing by being the way that he is making her life harder.
Right.
That's not being a safe space. It's not being your home. It's not being your peace. You are creating conflict where there should not be conflict. And I'm gonna take it a step further. If her and the ex are having a crazy disagreement about schooling, and I'm gonna come back to that too, but let's say they're arguing about school. And she hangs up the phone and she's super frustrated. And then he starts. What was that about? Why were you talking about that? Why are you talking to him? Blah, 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 blah. She's now getting it from both sides. She's going to have to set up boundaries and walls within herself to protect her because the world is fucking against her right now. How is that being a team? Right? Like that's a fucking problem. On the school thing, just because I had this thought, one of the books that I was reading gave an example when you're talking to somebody and you're having conflict and they actually use school as an example. Instead of arguing about who's going to make the decision for where the kids go to school and like really arguing and fighting about that, there should be conversations where something along the lines of, hey, I love that you're so passionate about where our kids get their schooling. I'm really proud of you for being that involved. Can we sit down and have a discussion to work through this so that we can find common ground? And that can defuse the situation because you're acknowledging the other person's want and need and their care and not, well, you're selfish. It's always about you. It brings the attention back to the kids, which is an important conversation. I don't think people realize how shitty it is to be in the position where the person you used to love is creating problems and the person you currently love is compounding those problems because they expect you to do something about their insecurities. And it just can't be a thing. I have had moments where there have been conversations that have pissed me off because of things that are going on that's out of my control, especially early on. But I voiced it, like, this really pisses me off, but I didn't attack you over it. Like, that's not going to ever get us to where we need to go. I just need to let you know I'm really angry right now. I'm going to step outside for 20 minutes or go edit. I'm going to do something to calm myself down and then we can problem solve this. But until I am calm, we can't have a conversation that's going to get us to grow, to get to where we need to be. This situation is stupid.
Yeah.
It really is because the dude is hurting himself because of his insecurities.
Yeah. I want to add on, this is the kind of mindset when you hear women say, if he's alone at a certain age, there's a reason. He's almost 40.
Yeah.
And he's seeking out someone who is 10 years younger than him. This would be one of those situations where I would say, okay, maybe take a step back and really evaluate the situation as to why he's single. What was his past? What was the reason of breaking up? How does he talk about his ex?
Yeah. All courting questions.
Yeah.
We have a questionnaire on our website. It's free along with the check-in PDFs. You go to the download link on our website and you can download shit. So if you're in the courting phase, you can take a list, pull it out of your purse and fucking question people, or pull it out of your wallet and question people so that you can actually get to know them on a more clear, intimate level so that you can start hashing out future goals and understandings. Because otherwise you're going to have conversations like, what's your favorite movie? That's surface level shit that gives you conversation in the moment to pass time at dinner, not get to know who you're actually talking to. I think that people who have that kind of trust issue should not be. This is the exact same thing that I have with the phone. If you feel the need to go through your person's phone, the trust is already gone. You don't need to be with them. Because even if you don't find anything, knowing that you don't trust your person and you going through their phone and finding absolutely nothing, you still don't trust them. Why be in a situation with somebody that you can't put your faith in? So that you can constantly live in that, oh my God, what if? Let me pay this debt before it's due. Let me walk on that broken glass every single morning. And if your partner's not the problem and it's you, what are you doing to fix it? How is this serving you guys? How is this serving him? Your happy home is happy until your ex has to ask you a question about your kid and then he has a fucking problem with it?
Yeah.
Come on. Be better, dude.
Little PP energy.
It is an inferiority complex.
It is. Mother in need of advice, hopefully by this Tuesday. Spoiler, it's way past Tuesday.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're not a member of the Patreon and we have to fucking read emails that are super far back.
This says update included. Oh, wow. You want to know how much past Tuesdays this is?
Yeah.
July 29th of 2023.
So this is probably an email where they sent out a, hey, do you have updates? Because we're getting ready to read your email thing. Because we got a lot of those the other day. Real quick, if you guys are not a member of the Patreon is going to get expedited emails. We also do Zoom calls. So if you have an email that you would like to actually talk to us with, you can send the email. If you're a member of the Patreon member, Zoom, you have to be a part of the Discord. That's a way to actually get us to read your email and then be able to ask you questions. And we've been recording them and we've been posting them on YouTube sometimes, but always on Spotify, on the actual downloads, the streams. But that is a way that you guys can interact with us and do that if that's something that you're interested in doing.
Okay. Oh, do you want that little update that I talked about in the earlier? I saw.
That got cut.
What?
Yeah, that whole thing got cut. That was where the audio failed. But yeah, let's have the update.
So I was outside baking, watering my plants, getting super excited about how big everything's getting. And I was mapping out where I wanted to put things. And I saw a little blue jay just laying right there. And I was like, life, it's beautiful. And then another blue jay goes up into the trees. And I was like, oh my goodness. And one jumps up on the fence and goes down over. And the other one flies over. And they start doing some fucking mating things. I'm like, stop. It's love. And they're like chirping and fucking dancing and whatnot. Oh, like he really put on a show for her. It was gorgeous.
Fucking cardinal and another cardinal landed in the backyard. And
it was a male and a female.
I get a text message and was like, oh, look, it's husband and wife. And I was like, yeah, did the owl officiate the ceremony?
I love that you continued it. That was such a happy visual in my brain. I might have to paint that.
That's funny.
I love you.
I love you too.
I appreciate that you don't think I'm silly.
I do think you're silly.
But not stupid.
No, but not stupid. I enjoy that. Those moments where you're baked and just kind of give me access to your stoned mind is reprieve from my daily activities.
Yeah.
Because I don't partake in anything and I can't drink the way that I want to. So like I don't get a break. So if I'm doing something and I'm super fucking stressed out and I get a really dumb text message about cardinals who are married, it's fun for me. It gives me a moment to think about something other than what I'm thinking about. And like, it is, it's a break. So I look forward to that shit.
Yeah. Getting baked is the really only time my mind's quiet.
Yeah. Well, mine's never quiet.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's life.
I feel bad that I get to have breaks and you don't. I'm glad I can be a little break for you though.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting emotional. It's
not a podcast till you cry. You cried before when the audio got cut last time, so it was already a podcast, but
I'm your marijuana.
My medicine.
Yeah. I adore you so much. I would wash your feet for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got this.
Oh my.
Let's get back to it.
Okay. I really like watching your videos. They give me another view on topics I wouldn't normally see. I would like to ask for your thoughts on my situation. I have been with my boyfriend for over 10 years.
Why are you not married? That's my first question. You're a placeholder. Do you not believe in marriage? Does he not believe in marriage? Why are you not at least engaged?
Yeah.
10 years to dedicate that kind of time to somebody with no real future, like
Unacceptable to
I
me.
just don't understand that mindset. I really fucking don't.
Yeah. It has been off and on throughout that time.
That's why.
One of the big reasons why we have broken up was him telling me that we will get married someday and never asking me.
Oh, if I had just shut up and listened.
Yeah. So he was just saying that to placate her.
Yeah, slip service.
Yeah. He would come to me and say he's ready to get married, and I believe him because I see a lot of good in him. His words mean something to me. So his money ain't backed by gold.
His word ain't backed by anything.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, his words aren't backed by action. If your actions did not match up to what you were telling me, your words would mean absolutely nothing to me.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
You don't have anything in this world. Truly, everything that you own is material, and one day you're not going to own it.
Yeah.
It could all go up in a fire tonight, and the only thing I'm going to have tomorrow is my physical body and my reputation. And if my reputation is he can't be trusted, he's a liar, his word has no weight to it, you've literally got nothing.
Yeah.
Say what you do and do what you say.
Back to the email. This is the last time we got together. This last time we got together, he even asked my dad for my hand in marriage. It's been over 2 years now.
That was a front then. That was a tool to manipulate you into coming back.
As that dad, I would be pissed.
Yeah, I would rescind it. You don't have my permission anymore. You've wasted too much of her time.
Oh, gosh.
Not that that matters, but there are a lot of people out there who get married that don't ask permission. That's not really a thing anymore. But
Right, but if that was a thing for them, or maybe boyfriend just thought the next evolution of manipulation was to go above and beyond and ask for the dad's permission because people don't do that anymore, and that'll really show her that I'm serious about it.
Right. So that's exactly what I think that is.
I was thinking in the mindset of the father, like, if that meant something to me of having my future daughter's husband ask me for my permission, and he does that and doesn't propose in 2 years, I'm gonna lose my damn mind. But a father who had that mindset would also have his daughter know, like, a man won't be with you for 10 years and not marry you if that's not what he wants.
I would have a very long conversation with a man who ever asked for a daughter's hand. I don't think they would come to me. They would go to her dad. But if that conversation did come to me, there would be a very long discussion. Like, what makes you think that you're worthy of that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and granted, me even saying that puts a whole lot of value on her. But I think that that's a question that men need to ask themselves. Like, and if you don't have a real strong figure in your life, it's like, yeah, go do whatever you want to do.
Right.
You're not going to ever question your integrity, you know?
When our daughter's old enough, I'm going to ask her, what do you think you bring to a marriage?
Yeah.
She is not going to be one of these ladies out here running amok, hoe culture.
Talking about me? I'm what I bring to a marriage? Yeah.
No, we are not going to do that. We have a little son who is amazing. I'm a stay-at-home mom now, living the dream life I've always wanted. A family and an amazing partner. Is it wrong of me that I still want to be married? I want to be his wife, share the same last name as him and my son. When I approach the conversation of marriage, it always ends with him saying, "Aren't you happy with us? Nothing will change if we are married. He pays for everything, all the bills, the groceries." I'm very thankful that he has allowed me to be at home with our son. I'm worried, though, because he doesn't want our finances to be together. He wants everything separate.
Yeah, because he wants a clean cut if he wants it. This is about an exit plan. I believe that.
Yeah.
Yep. I believe that. I believe this is an exit plan.
5 years ago, I bought a house of my own. He didn't want to invest in a home with me. He did choose to come live with me, though, and pay half of the bills. A couple of years into having the house, COVID happened and I was laid off. He paid the bills for 6 months. He did do some patchwork and sanding and painting on the inside of the home. I ended up choosing to sell the house because the market was up and we were breaking up because he didn't want to get married. I couldn't imagine leaving somebody And I'm going to use the getting married example as they don't want to get married. I do. Okay, we clearly don't want the same things. We're going to end this relationship. And then we're going to get back together. And that's the same repetitive issue every single time.
Right.
Insanity is expecting a different outcome while doing the same exact thing.
Yep. This is why we've had the discussion so much about having somebody in your life that has the same aspirations. If you're dating and your intent is to date for longevity, meaning you want to get married, you're dating with purpose. If you're dating to have somebody fill a void in your life for a couple of years until somebody better comes along, that's what this looks like to me. We're keeping our finances separate. I'm refusing to get married. And every time you're like, are we going to get married? You're like, why? Nothing's going to change. If that's true, then why not just get married?
Right.
If nothing's going to change,
why not?
Why not just get married? It's going to satiate the need in me to be married, and nothing's going to change for you. You just said it. Nothing's going to change. So what's the problem?
Entrapment is probably what he feels.
Well, a prenuptial agreement could make that a thing too. Their finances are already kept separate. This is him making sure that he has an out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
all
agree
that
with
is.
that. I wanted to move back closer to my family. I ended up making $50K off the house, and he wanted me to split it with him. He was very hurt when I didn't.
Good. I'm glad you didn't split it with him because it's not his, it's yours. I would have given back the 6 months of mortgage payments.
Yeah.
Absolutely. On 50 grand.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. I was about to say that when he was just paying the bills, I would have paid him back for that, but you're not getting half of the funds.
Right. If you moved out of an apartment, that money that you paid for your rent is gone. That's the cost of living. So him helping with the bills while you guys live together is his cost of living. You don't get none of that back just because I sold the house. That was my house. I bought that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's wrong for that.
Back to the email.
Yep.
After a month, he came back to our hometown and asked my dad for my hand and came to ask me. It felt off, though. I always wanted to happen when times were good, which they were 99% of the time.
That was a calculated manipulation tactic.
It was.
Because they weren't even back together yet. He moved back to the area, went to the dad, and then went to her. Yeah.
Because he knew that he would just be turned away if he showed up.
I mean, maybe. I don't think that's the case, though.
No?
Nope. I think that this was trying to make him look in a better light. Like, hey, I'm serious this time. I asked your dad. He said it's okay. It just makes it easier.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's manipulation like you wouldn't believe. And that's calculated. That's calculated. He put time and thought into that. Like, how can I ensure that this goes the way I want it to?
Back to the email. I love him. That's why I wanted to spend my life with him. He's kind, funny, dorky, loving, and very thoughtful. Very hardworking, and everything I wanted in a husband. The most important thing about finding a husband is making sure that he wants to be a husband. But when he asked, it wasn't romantic or really anything that was him. It was desperate and sad. Or really anything that was him. It was desperate and sad.
Meaning he didn't do it in the way that his normal personality would have allowed it to happen. But I agree it's desperate and sad. This is not...
Last ditch effort.
I don't think you should take an engagement and say yes. Like, obviously you say yes in the moment because that's part of the engagement process. But I think within the next 7 days of an engagement, conversations need to be had. Okay, what's the date?
Yeah.
We need to start planning because I'm not going to be your fiance for 7 fucking years. Like, and I don't care if it means that we're going to the courthouse next week and just signing a piece of paper and then worrying about the ceremony later. Like, the ring is placating. This is pause. Hey, I intend to do this.
Right.
I intend to do all kinds of shit that never gets done. But if I really fucking want it and it matters, I'm going to make that shit work. I really have a hard time with that.
I agree.
Could you imagine your engagement being a depressing thought?
No.
Because that's what she said. It was sad and depressing. Or
Yeah.
desperate. It was desperate.
Sad and desperate.
Same thing. Well, not same thing. Sad, same thing. Depressing. Sad, but desperate. That doesn't sound...
I'm going to say this, and this is going to sound really shitty, but one of the first thing that came to my mind One of the things that came to my mind in discussing this is you want it too much.
Yeah.
You want it too much.
She does.
Yes.
Okay.
The engagement was sad and depressing and it didn't feel right to you. You still accepted it because you wanted it so bad. Everything was off. You don't feel good about it. It's not a good memory for you. When I think of getting engaged to my husband, it makes me emotional. In a really good way. Why settle for anything less than that?
Yeah. I'm curious if there's been conversations like, hey, it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
I take that back. There has been, because he said nothing would change if they get married. So that was an act. Like that, his statement, nothing would change if we got married, proves that all of that was a manipulation tactic.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it a step further and say that if he's willing to manipulate you with something that you have dreamed of and that you know that he knows that you really fucking want, how else is he manipulating you in those moments? There's got to be other things that he's doing like that. That's not just a one-off situation. This comes back to allowing someone to control you based off of your interpersonal relationship.
Right.
Interpersonal relationship. Not inter.
I told him I would love to be back together and be together when he asked next time when we were happy and not like this. Oh, so I guess she said no. We moved into the new home I bought, and I told him that he would just be renting until we got married because he had always mentioned maybe wanting to keep finances separate. When he would mention it, I would make points about wanting to keep finances together. So now I'm selling my home and looking to make $40,000 off of this property, and he wants me to split it with him. We did live together in this home and started a family. I was going to say yes. But now I'm a stay-at-home mom, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of our house while he provides for us. He bought a fixer-upper himself, and I have no ties to it. He said he wants to have this house as his own, and if he makes money off of it, it will just be his. Okay. I guess I just don't know how he could fight for it to be both ways.
Because he doesn't care what you want. He wants what he wants.
Right.
This is almost, just from the email, this sounds like this could possibly be narcissistic abuse.
Yeah, I agree.
I fucking hate that I actually just said that. But that's what this sounds like. This is not about her. This is about him in every facet and getting what he wants, and he's manipulating the situation in really fucked up ways to get it.
Yeah, and it's working.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. If you could please give your advice to see it from another perspective, that would be amazing. I close on the house this Tuesday. Sorry for the short notice. And this is an update from April 11th of 2024. Since my last email, I did choose to give him $20,000 after he asked multiple times. I just kept thinking we were trying to build something together, so I gave him the money in the hopes I'm investing in our future. I've asked for a debit card or anything for me to be able to pay for things, and he says he wants to keep things separate. That's financial control.
It is. So that's even more manipulation. And I forgot she said she was a stay-at-home. She's not working. So how are you going to keep things separate when you're not working? How the fuck are you supposed to survive? You can't be a stay-at-home mom and not have access to the finances.
Right.
You're on everything.
Everything.
Business cards, personal cards, literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how you can agree to live in a situation where you have no access to anything. That is you allowing someone to control every facet of your life.
I'd be reaching out to family. But I don't really know how we can do that if I'm a stay-at-home mom. We started therapy to try and work on communication. After I stopped breastfeeding, postpartum hit me really hard. I moved in with my parents. I got really sad and mad, and I was not the kindest person. It caused us to fight a lot. I turned to religion and then started another fight. I turned to religion, and that started another fight between us because he is anti-religion. He fought for us when I moved out, and I'm so thankful he did because I wasn't at a point mentally that was good. I moved back in and doing a lot better. I really am thankful for everything he does. He's provided for us. He's an amazing father. An amazing father. I don't want this to seem like bashing or anything. I'm not grateful. He's anti-religion, and that caused an argument between you guys. That's a fucking problem.
Why would you have an issue with somebody doing something that's going to make them better?
This relationship doesn't feel safe to me.
No.
No, it doesn't.
I'm curious if she's still stay at home and if he's still providing everything. And if he is, she needs to have access to everything.
100%.
If she doesn't, he is emotionally manipulating her with marriage.
Financially manipulating her with the funds.
Physically controlling her with the funds. And because he's a good father and she loves him, she's allowing it to happen. This whole thing is a problem for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
This email is titled Sister and Boyfriend Issue. Wizard note, there's an update at the end. We are now converting emails older than 6 months only if we receive an update. Also, this email is not what the title sounds like, I promise.
Okay, good.
LOL. Janae. Hi. I love your clips on TikTok. I have learned so much from you about communication and what to expect from my partner. I will marry him in February. If my English is bad, I'm so sorry. I'm from Sweden, but I'll try my best. Here's my story. Me, 27 female, and my boyfriend, 28 male, prior to this, had bought his childhood house. We live here with our 2 dogs. I grew up and sold my dream house to pursue his dream and move here with him. Simply because home is where he is. I love him deeply. We lived in my house for 2 years before buying his parents' house. I have a sister, 19 years old, who has fought and won over drug abuse. She has moved around the country between different closed treatment homes since she was 16. Oh, that's rough. When she was 18, they decided she was ready to move home. So they put her at her father's house. His alcohol abuse triggered her into going back into old habits, using drugs and running away. Social services called me and asked if they could place her with us. Emergency placement, since the stay with my dad didn't work out. It was very hasty, but I asked him and he agreed. She moved in the same night. We gave my sister a home, her own room, her own space, with 2 stable parents. I understand that English isn't her first language. I just think it's odd that you're not the parent. You can be a stable figure for her. I think it's important to emphasize the sisterhood in that because parents failed you, and now I am here, and I will, as your sister, make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
She has lived with us for about a year now, and I'm getting worried that he has had enough. It's clear that her brain is 2 to 3 years behind, ruined by the drugs. She acts like a 16-year-old.
She will probably always act like a 16-year-old. That will probably never change.
Stunted.
Yeah.
Dishes in the sink, not the dishwasher. Empty juice boxes. Her room is a mess. Prepares food and leaves the counters crumbly and greasy. There's stuff everywhere.
This is the problem of roommates.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what their age is. They could be 39 years old and not 19 years old. And if that's how they choose to live, this is going to be a problem.
This is the issue I need help with. I don't mind. I love giving her a home she finally needs, what all children deserve. Being moody, messy, and focusing on hobbies or getting to school. Sleeping till 11 a.m., not worrying about adult things. I don't mind cleaning her messes. Was she in school?
That's what she said.
Okay. I make her sound like a hurricane, but she does pick up some stuff, and sometimes she just forgets. ADHD, drop what you hold, and move kind of thing. My boyfriend, I can feel that he dislikes her. He tells me she's a pain in the ass, immature, and messy. Gets in a bad mood when he sees her mess and stuff, and complains and gets grumpy.
Don't pause. This is the your home is your sanctuary. This is the place where you're supposed to be the most at peace.
Right.
And if all of these things are creating a problem for him in the home, his castle is not his sanctuary. Your living situation is chaos, which means every other facet of his life is chaos because he doesn't have a place he can go to just
decompress,
be himself and not have to worry about shit. Again, this is the problem of having roommates. It doesn't matter if they're family or not. You may love your sister, I may not. That could create a whole lot of problems in the home, especially if I don't fucking want her here, but I'm doing it because of you.
Right.
Because eventually my doing it because of you is going to wear so thin that I don't want to be here. That's going to happen. I guarantee you that's going to happen.
I have told him how I feel, that I want to give my sister the shot at life that she never got. But she just can't oversee how immature and messy is. Oh, he can't oversee how immature and messy she is. I have told both of them if they have issues with each other, they need to solve it between them. That's not how that works. This is your sister.
Right. That statement alone basically is like, I don't give a shit that you guys got a problem. Fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
What if his dealing with it is leaving you? Because you're putting your sister's needs above his.
Yep.
You're not married to your sister. You're married to him. Assuming they're married. Boyfriends? I don't know. I don't remember. That's a problem though. If you're living together, you're fucking up the sanctity of his home, of your home. Like you view your house as yours. He views the house as yours. When you talk about it as ours. But when you're with your friends and you're like, I'm going home, you're not saying you're going to our house. I'm going home. You view that as your sanctuary. It's your castle. It's your place of peace. That gets ruined. That's a problem.
Back to the email. They did, and I had a breakdown, and now they kind of tolerate each other. What the hell did I do? Oh, what the hell do I do? Your sister, even though she is 16 years old in mindset, she's an adult now. You're going to take care of her when she's 40? You need to get her on her feet and get her functioning again. And like you said, you want the best for her. You need to treat her like an adult, not like a child.
Yep.
And letting her sleep in until 11 a.m., you're going to have a dependent for the rest of your life, and your man's going to leave you. Yep.
It's important to remember that when you get married, you're not marrying the family, you're marrying the person.
Right.
So everything that comes along with that is contingent on the person you're marrying accepting these things. And the sister wasn't a live-in at that point. So they're together and now she's a live-in. And I'm sure it was sold of, hey, we're going to help her get on her feet. Well, now she's a permanent fixture. It's no longer about getting her on her feet. Yeah. What does getting on her on her feet mean? Is she going to be here for another 6 months, 6 years? Is he willing to wait for 6 years? Is he willing to wait for 6 months? Like, these are real questions because he doesn't owe your sister shit.
There should be a standard too.
I really don't like the roommate thing.
Yeah. That was one of the biggest things I got pushback from people in my life. My home is not a hotel.
Yeah. Yep. We have this space to take people if we needed to. And like my cousin lived in the gym out there for a little while, but it was in a separate building with its own bathroom. Like they weren't in the house. And we laid ground rules down before they moved in here. Like, look, you can't be in the house after 6. Because if we want to have intimate time, watching TV or playtime, I don't want to have to be like, hey, it's time for you to leave. You're imposing right now. Like I want to be able to have my freedom to live in my home.
Right.
I don't know. I was talking to Sean about this today because he's got a roommate right now that's imposing it on his life. And I'm like, I don't know why you did this, dude. Like you've been on your own for so fucking long that you now have somebody like trying to dictate your home. I wouldn't have done that. He's like, I'm not going to get into that discussion, but we had a very long discussion about it and it's the same thing. And this is just somebody that he knows. Like it's not even family, but having people living in your home becomes a problem. It absolutely does.
Yeah. I want his support. We talk monthly about his mood with her mess. He says he'll get better. He does for a while and then back to square one. P.S. I cleaned a lot of her mess because if he sees her mess, he leaves it. He cleans our mess, not hers.
Right. Because he's not with her. He's with you.
Correct. I wouldn't.
Yeah. She's in, and when he goes to make changes and is good for a little while and then goes back to it, it's because he's trying to do it for her.
Yeah.
This is really unfair to him.
It is. He literally asks who put this here when he sees an empty juice box on the countertop. Because he's tired of it. Leaving trash on the counter is a conscious choice to be lazy.
Yep.
Walk it to the trash can.
But that also speaks on he would do it for her and not for the sister. He's with you, not your sister.
Yeah. That's what it has come to. Because you allowed it to get to that point.
I bet she views that as petty.
Yeah.
Instead of just cleaning up after it because it's there.
It's not my child. It's not my family. I'm getting mad for him.
I'm not mad. I see this situation as a problem. I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to make it work to keep her happy, and in return, he's miserable.
And And it doesn't matter that he's miserable.
Right.
I feel like he promised me to stop being grumpy and unsupportive, so now he stays in a good mood by not touching her stuff, leaving her mess to me. That's the solution. You got upset when he complained about the mess. You got upset when he commented on the mess, so now he's doing absolutely nothing about it.
Right, but the mess still bothers him. The only difference is he's not vocalizing it.
Yeah, he's internalizing it.
Yeah, this is a problem. This is a big fucking problem.
Is there any way to solve this? Give me a sentence or two to tell him, make him understand what he is putting me through.
How about you understand what you're putting him through?
I agree with that. I fight to try and solve this because I love them both and I am not leaving any of them behind. I feel so cheated. I helped him pursue his dream. Why can't he step up and help me and help her?
He is helping you. He is helping her.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, you have to realize that he's not with her. He's with you. And you're keeping score. I helped him, so he has to help me. Well, you guys working as a team is very different than him taking care of another person in your family.
Right.
That's not the same situation.
And him pursuing his dream and leveling up benefits you.
Yeah, it absolutely does. It's teamwork.
Yeah.
We're going to suffer now so we don't have to later. Him suffering now does not benefit him at all. It doesn't benefit you at all. It helps your sister, and it gives you a peace of mind that your sister's not going to back to using drugs, but he is now living in fucking misery, so much so that he's not even complaining about it anymore. He's internalizing, which is going to build resentment. He's going to become very bitter. This is going to destroy your relationship.
Yeah. You want the update?
Yeah.
Thank you for the answer. I do have an update. I do not know if you have answered this email with a response yet, like a tip or something, but things have gotten better. She has matured. She is 20 years old now and takes a bigger responsibility. She started working after she dropped off school. Soon we will start adapting her to adulthood and keep being a foster family for smaller children. A comfortable age for both of us.
What?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Okay, just keep reading. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it.
Helping my sister has warmed both of our hearts for helping other children.
She's not a child. She's a fucking adult.
Right, she's 19.
Okay.
Yeah. He laughs at her ADHD quirks now. The messiness doesn't get to him the same way anymore. She's also better at cleaning up after herself, and I have set a boundary for the house areas. We don't leave our mess for others to see. It's rude to the people in the house who don't want to see it. The mess in her room and her space. The mess stays in her room and her space, and he does not open her door. Mostly because he knows he will get angry. He also pushes me to be more strict with her, which is good for all of us. Structure for her, and she doesn't run me over the same way. We got married the 10th of February. He really is my teammate. Supporting these 2 long years and seeing the development has really opened doors in my heart I didn't know I had. I thought he wasn't supporting you. Crazy how time will change perspective.
I think that he realized that he can't do anything about it and he just accepted it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would love to hear his perspective on all this.
I agree.
Because I would put money on the fact that he still hates the fact that she's there. The only difference is he realized nothing's going to change, so he has just accepted it. And him marrying her means that he loves the woman still. And though the messes are not a problem anymore, having a roommate is a problem. Like, that's not, I don't know. I also don't know how old they are. Did they say how old they were? To be fostering a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old and calling them we're fostering young people? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
For anybody that's in that situation, you guys need to listen to your partner.
I agree.
That's the takeaway from this email, is that he was telling her that he was not okay and she was pushing it aside, making it more about what her sister needs than what her man needs. And that's an issue for me.
I agree.
And I also, because I've lived in a situation similar to that, understand that just accepting that this is the way my life is going to be and I can't do anything about it. So I need to try to make the best of it. I'm going to ignore the mess. I'm not going to go in a room, even though it'll piss me off. I'm not going to express my displeasure because all it's going to do is make you and I fight. This is obviously a me problem. Nobody gives a shit about the way I feel, so I'm just going to bottle it the fuck up and deal with it. Sound familiar, men? Because a lot of you are living that fucking life right now. That's not okay.
You want to do another email?
No, I'm done.
Okay.
I don't know how long this is going to be because this is like 4 different episodes mixed together because of the issues and the breaks, but I'm done.
Okay. I need to go pick up bubble wrap.
Well, with that being said, guys, remember you are the authors of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.